Happy Monday. My name is Devon Lewis-Buchanan with Inspire Youth, and you're tuned into Perspective Matters. Before we start, I would like to extend our condolences to all those who were affected, lost their lives, and were wounded in the senseless acts of violence in Las Vegas. To wake up to that type of news and to know that these things occur in our country, all over the world, every day, it truly is sad. And it definitely puts our lives in perspectives and to show us that our days here are not certain, and for it to happen in a place like Las Vegas where people are visiting from all over the world to have fun, have a good time, and to know that people lost their lives just simply trying to do that. So we definitely want to extend our condolences to all those, praying for all those affected, and hoping that there is some positive out of all this negativity. Today we are touching on the topic of attention to intention. And I believe this kind of ties into what took place here in there in Las Vegas, and just wanted to touch on this topic because I believe that the things that we believe and the things that we pride ourselves in have to be intentional, and intent being our purpose, our goal, or a design to do something. And whether we pride ourselves in our intent being good or evil, it doesn't matter, because first it starts with us. And I believe this, in my mind, it ties into our integrity. The quality of what we believe of being honest, or having strong moral principles. That's our integrity. And integrity is intentional. You don't wake up in the morning and just say whatever happens, happens, or I'm going to just allow myself to do what I want to do. You have to set yourself on some type of standards. You have to believe in some type of principles. And everything that you go doing, you're doing it forward, is part of your principles. It's part of what you set up and what you believe. And it ties into the fact that good things happen on this planet every day, but at the end of the day, bad things happen too. And it's sad that the negative takes center stage, like in incidents like this. And just to give an example, I believe it's before my example, I believe it's truly unfair that a lot of times that negativity takes center stage in a world that has so much positivity that we can offer, to expose young people to. Because I believe that when we're constantly turning on the news, you'll always hear 5 to 10 negative stories before you hear one. 5 to 10 negative stories before you hear one positive. And that sets us to embed to think that everything around us, or many of the things around us, is set in negativity, when it's not true. When I believe that we need to pay more attention to our intention and what we are putting out there for others to see, and how we respond to certain situations that can inevitably be a factor in someone else's life. Just an example of good and bad. And I like to take an example from when Hurricane Harvey hit, and there was a Pastor Osteen, Joel Osteen, who was pretty much put on center stage and was pretty much don't want to say crucified. He was judged on not opening up the doors to his church, and everybody from all different angles came at him about why he didn't open the doors of the church, why he wasn't serving the community in the way that he should have been. And everybody had their opinion about why he didn't act in a way that they would have acted, basically. And it got me thinking that it's funny that we judge people who do so much good sometimes, and we hold them to a standard that we don't hold ourselves to. And regardless of the reason that he didn't open the doors to the church at that moment, regardless of what he explained to people, all of that really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter. Because we hold him accountable, and we hold him accountable for the one thing that he didn't do in a time of need, when day in and day out he prides himself on doing positivity, doing positive things for the community, for the people in the area, through his walk. And now this is not a plight of anything about religion or race or culture or anything. It's simply good and bad, because it seems as though we give, the benefit of the doubt to the person who does more negative than the person who does positive. Because had it been a person who had, been a drug dealer, or been somebody who has committed crimes, or done somebody who has done some evil or things like that, the moment that they choose to do good, we look at them and say, wow, they do have some positive in them. Oh, okay, wow, that person's not so bad. But we choose to look at the one moment that they showed their positivity, and it outweighs all the negativity, negativity that they've done, or all the negative things that they've done. Because to us, it's kind of like we want to hold them to a standard of just seeing that positive. But at the same time, when someone is choosing to do positive and constantly living their life in positivity, the moment that they do something that we don't agree with, we automatically persecute them. And it makes it very hard for people to really be intentional with being positive, because at the end of the day, you're held to a higher standard. I had somebody ask me, because I told them I was a mentor, that, man, you must live like the Pope. And why would I live my life any different than how I've been living? If my mind and my heart is set on doing good, that's intentional. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I won't walk away from this world making mistakes, but at the end of the day, I'm not trying to live to a standard that I didn't set for myself. That goes back to my integrity. What do I stand for? Because at the end of the day, ultimately, whatever I stand for is what I'm going to go out here and I'm going to put out in the world. I can't pride myself on being a positive person and everything that follows me, everything that follows behind me is negative. So I believe that our integrity sets the standard of who we are, not other people's hopes and beliefs in us. So in that situation, I found it very, very, uproar. I just found it very unnecessary to persecute somebody for a decision that they made in a time such as a national disaster or natural disaster. But that was just one example I wanted to give, and just basically wanted to make people aware of our intentions and the way that we put ourselves out there, because it is important. It is something that we have to pride ourselves in, and for our everyday lives to become better and to see more positivity in the world, we have to sometimes be that positivity, regardless if we get persecuted for it or not, the times that we fall short. So at the end of the day, I just want everybody to stay safe out there. Definitely take time to really reflect on what is going on and how we can aid in changing the world that we live in, because it's definitely going to take the people that live in this world to actually pay attention and be more intentional about the way that we want to live our lives and the way that we want to affect others. So that's my time, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, definitely keep our prayers and our good thoughts for those people that were affected by the tragedy in Las Vegas. That's my time today, guys. I appreciate it. It's been Perspective Matters. Have a good one, guys.